Thousands of foreigners are leaving expensive cities in the US, Australia, or Europe in search of a new place to live, somewhere warmer, more affordable, and most importantly, more livable. And many of them are choosing the Philippines. But the question isn't whether to live in the Philippines, it's where exactly. Not every city here is ideal for expats or retirees. Some places are beautiful but lack hospitals. Others are cheap but not safe. And then there are places that might seem unremarkable at first, but somehow they make you never want to leave. In this video, we'll explore the top 10 most livable cities in the Philippines for expats and retirees based on practical factors like cost of living, safety, healthcare, quality, English proficiency, and overall environment. And yes, the number one spot will surprise you. Have you ever lived in one of these cities, or are you considering one for your next chapter? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your story. Don't forget to hit like if you found this content helpful and subscribe to Bizarre World Adventures to discover more of the world's most livable places from a real and relatable perspective. Now, let's begin. Number 10. Angeles City. Located in Pampanga Province, just about 1 to 1.5 hours drive from Manila, Angeles City is no stranger to many. But here's the interesting part. Many people who came here thinking it was just a short stop ended up staying for good. Why Angeles isn't as crowded or overwhelming as the capital, but it still offers all the modern conveniences, shopping malls, international hospitals, European-style restaurants, and imported goods supermarkets. English is widely spoken in restaurants, stores, and hospitals, making it incredibly convenient for foreigners. It's also one of the few cities in the Philippines with a large expat community, particularly Americans, Australians, and Koreans. Mark, a 62-year-old Australian, originally planned to stay in Angeles for just 2 weeks before moving to Bohol. But he never left. I found everything I needed here. The prices weren't too high, the streets weren't too noisy, and people spoke good English, so it was easier to make friends than I expected. He now rents an apartment near Clark, grows vegetables on his balcony, and occasionally teaches English to local kids. The cost of living in Angeles is moderate. A fully furnished apartment can be rented for 12,000 to 18,000 peso per month, with a budget of around 30,000 to 35,000 peso per month. A single person or a retired couple can live comfortably, dining out, getting around easily, and still saving a bit. All in all, if you're looking for a place near Manila that's more livable, well-equipped, international, and conveniently located, Angeles City is a solid starting point, especially if you're still active and want to live in a diverse, welcoming, and familiar community. Number 9. Tagaytay. Not everyone enjoys the hustle and bustle of big cities. For many, an ideal life is simply a cool morning light mist on the porch and a peaceful place to call home. And for those people, Tagaytay is a no-brainer. Just about 1 to 2 hours drive from Manila, Tagaytay offers a cool climate all year round, much like the highlands of Europe. But the key difference lies in the feeling you don't have to give up everything to find peace. Life here is quiet enough to soothe you, but convenient enough to make each day enjoyable. Tagaytay doesn't have many tall buildings, but it's full of cozy cafes, restaurants overlooking Taal Lake, and small residential neighborhoods nestled between pine forests, farms, and valleys. Many expats and retired Filipinos have chosen to live here to enjoy their golden years without sacrificing comfort. The cost of living in Tagaytay is higher than in some other provincial cities, but still manageable. A small apartment or a ground floor house in a secure neighborhood can be rented for 12,000 to 18,000 peso per month. Fresh food is abundant, with local produce like tomatoes, leafy greens, and free-range chicken that are both affordable and clean. With about 30,000 peso per month, one can live lightly without lacking anything, and more importantly, with very little stress. The most precious thing about Tagaytay isn't the scenery, it's the pace of life. No one rushes, no one pressures you to keep up with others or with the speed of the big city. Foreigners living here often say, "I didn't come to Tagaytay to do anything. I came here to be myself." And maybe at retirement age, or after spending years in chaos, that's exactly what we need: a place to breathe deeply, eat slowly, sleep peacefully, and still feel like we're not being left behind. Tagaytay isn't flashy, but its simplicity makes it a perfect place for long-term living. Number 8. Bacolod City. Bacolod may not take your breath away the moment you arrive, but some cities don't need to show off because peace of mind is something they quietly offer. Located in Western Visayas, Bacolod is known as the City of Smiles, not just because of the vibrant Mascara festival, but because of its people, sincere, friendly, and never in a hurry. Life here flows at just the right pace, slow, calm, and much more affordable than in big cities. Ruben, an OFW who worked in Kuwait for over 18 years, shared, "I thought I'd settle in Cebu or even go back to Manila, more opportunities there. But on a trip to visit a friend in Bacolod, something inside me calmed. No honking, no crowds. It felt like a reason to stop and start again." Now he rents a small house near the market and runs a modest watch repair shop. He doesn't get many customers, but they're steady. Each morning, he bikes to a cafe down the alley, drinks a hot cup of Cape Barako for 60 peso, and smiles at the locals, greeting each other with kind, genuine looks. The cost of living in Bacolod is a huge plus. A fully furnished apartment can be rented for 6,000 to 9,000 peso per month. With a budget of about 20,000 to 25,000 peso, a single person can live comfortably, eat well, get around easily, and still have a little left over to save or help family. The city also has hospitals, supermarkets, international schools, and a simple but efficient transport system. Most importantly, Bacolod doesn't force you to be anyone else. It quietly invites you to just be kind to yourself. If you've ever felt overwhelmed, tired of trying to fit into a pace that wasn't yours, maybe Bacolod is where you will find that ease, that simplicity, and that natural sense of belonging. Number 7. Dumaguete. Dumaguete doesn't have towering buildings, nor is it featured in luxury travel brochures. But this small city has something that makes many foreigners stay longer than planned. Jason, an English teacher from Ireland, first came to Dumaguete on a short trip. He intended to stay just a few weeks to finish a draft manuscript. 6 years later, he's still there. Eve lived in cities all over the world, Chiang Mai, Lisbon, Bali, but in Dumaguete I feel like I can just live without having to explain anything. Dumaguete has its own rhythm. It doesn't push you to be busy, but it doesn't let you get bored either. There are seaside cafes, lively morning markets, and by sunset you can walk along Rizal Boulevard, hearing friendly conversations, laughter groups of foreigners playing guitar, or simply sit there quietly just like the city itself. The expat community isn't large, but it's very connected. They don't form isolated groups. They live as a natural part of the city. Some teach online, run small eateries, or join weekend art classes with students from the historic Silliman University. The cost of living in Dumaguete is very reasonable. You can live comfortably without stressing over money each month. Around 8,000 to 10,000 peso for rent and 20,000 to 25,000 peso for total monthly expenses is enough to live well. Dumaguete isn't loud, but anyone who's lived there knows it gives you the quiet space you need in life. A space to rest, to reflect, to start over gently. Number 6. Subic Bay. Subic Bay is one of the few places in the Philippines where foreigners feel at home even if they've just arrived. Once the largest U.S. naval base in Asia, this city still retains many features from that era: wide streets, well-maintained trees, neatly organized residential areas that are clean and orderly. No speeding motorcycles, no honking, just a calm, predictable rhythm. Ted, a Filipino technician who lived 25 years in California, decided to move back home for retirement. Initially, he planned to settle in Manila to be closer to family, but after a few weeks in Subic, he changed his mind. "I didn't need to start over," he said. "They have American-style supermarkets, international hospitals, and I can live just like before, but for much less." Now he and his wife live in a small house facing the mountains, taking morning walks, gardening in the afternoon, and watching movies at night. Living expenses in Subic are not the lowest, but they're fair for what you get. A clean, decent home in the Freeport zone can be rented for 15,000 to 20,000 peso per month. With about 30,000 to 35,000 peso, you can live safely, comfortably, and with all the conveniences. Subic isn't for thrill seekers or those always looking for something new. But if you want a peaceful, organized life that's easy to adapt, especially if you've lived abroad for years, this is an ideal place to start over. Number 5. Baguio. Nestled in the Cordillera Mountains, Baguio feels entirely different from the rest of the Philippines. Cool air, early morning mist, pine-lined road, everything creates a calm, fresh atmosphere that older adults, former expats, and even those going through tough times truly appreciate. Liza, 54, a former office worker in Makati, moved to Baguio after a major family crisis. She shared, "At the time, I just wanted a place that wasn't too hot, too crowded, and where no one knew me. But once I was here, I started journaling again, started teaching kids at church, and realized I was living more gently. The city isn't huge, but it has everything you need: hospitals, universities, cafes, art galleries, fresh produce markets, and those unique little corners where every morning can begin with a cup of coffee and birdsong." Climate is the biggest plus. With temperatures ranging from 15 to 24 degrees Celsius all year round, Baguio is perfect for anyone who struggles with hot, humid weather. Many expats, especially from Europe or North America, say Baguio brings a sense of ease that only those who've spent years in tropical heat can fully appreciate. It, like being able to take a deep breath without feeling exhausted. Living costs are quite reasonable here. A small apartment can be rented for 10,000 to 15,000 peso per month. Total monthly expenses of 25,000 to 30,000 peso are enough for a comfortable life, healthy meals, and good healthcare. What makes Baguio special isn't its buildings or famous spots. It's how the city treats you, gently, patiently, and with enough space for both physical and emotional healing. If you're looking for a true place to rest, not just physically but mentally, then Baguio might be the destination you didn't know you needed. Number 4. Cebu City. If you still want to live in a dynamic, modern city, but without feeling suffocated, where you can work, connect with people, and then drive to the beach in just an hour on weekends, Cebu City is definitely worth considering. As the second largest city after Manila, Cebu is not too chaotic, but never boring. You'll find everything here: major shopping centers, international hospitals, quiet work cafes, and clear blue beaches just a short drive away. It also has a major international airport, great for those who still travel frequently. Cebu isn't as cheap as Bacolod or Dumaguete, but it's not as expensive as Makati either. A one-bedroom apartment in the city center can be rented for 15,000 to 20,000 peso per month. With total monthly spending from around 35,000 peso, you can live comfortably, especially if you're combining remote work with weekend relaxation. Among the cities on this list, Cebu has the most international vibe. You'll frequently see expat communities from the US, Korea, Japan, and more. Life in Cebu is modern and easy to adapt to, especially for foreigners. If you dislike feeling trapped in a small, isolated community, Cebu gives you options. To be honest though, Cebu's traffic can get heavy during rush hour, and if you're sensitive to noise, it may take time to adjust. But in return, you get to live in a city that never sleeps, where you can go whale shark diving in the morning and join a video call with US colleagues in the evening without feeling like you're too far away. Number 3. Davao City. Many people don't consider Davao when choosing a place to live. It's known for being strict, with tight regulations and a very orderly way of life. This used to make some foreigners worry they wouldn't be able to adapt. But once they arrive, many change their minds. Steve, a Canadian in his 60s, originally planned to retire in Dumaguete or Tagaytay, but after visiting a friend in Davao for a few days, he was surprised. It's so quiet here. People are friendly, there's no noise, no pushing or shoving. It really calmed my heart. After a week, he realized it was that very order that made him feel safer than ever. No need for constant police presence, no fear of walking alone at night, just living among people who care about their community. I feel like I can relax every day here, he said. Davao is one of the cleanest cities in the Philippines. The local government is efficient. Streets are tidy, traffic is disciplined, and there's very little pollution. It also has the lowest crime rate in the country, a huge plus for retirees or families with young children. The city offers all essential services from healthcare to shopping. Rental prices range from 10,000 to 15,000 peso, and with about 25,000 to 30,000 peso per month, you can live comfortably, eat well, and even save a little. Unlike cities known for tourism or nightlife, Davao stands out for its stability. Everything moves in a calm, orderly way. No one rushes. No one disturbs you. You're free to live at your own pace, low, steady, and fulfilled. If you're looking for a long-term home, where you can truly trust your surroundings and feel at peace each day, Davao might be just the place. It doesn't try to impress, it doesn't pretend. It's simply dependable. Davao is perfect for those ready to slow down and enjoy lasting safety and stability. But not everyone wants to withdraw completely from urban life. Some still work remotely, chase business ventures, or just prefer modern comforts and convenience. And that's when the next city comes in, a place that's not cheap, not for everyone, but if it suits you, it's more than worth it. Number 2. Makati. Makati is expensive. That's no secret. Renting a small studio in a secure area can cost 25,000 to 35,000 peso per month. Dining, transportation, and services, everything is above average. So why is Makati still on this list and ranked second? Because for some people, quality of life matters more than cost of living. Makati isn't just the financial hub of the Philippines. It's home to top international hospitals, high-quality bilingual schools, modern malls, global restaurants, gyms, work-friendly cafes, and all within walking distance or a short taxi ride. For foreigners still working remotely, running businesses, investing, or simply wanting a stable and convenient life with solid infrastructure, Makati might be the only place that checks all the boxes. Security is also a big plus. Residential areas are well-guarded, streets are clean, lights stay on, and there's a strict noise policy after 10 p.m. Residents can dine out, walk home late at night, and feel relatively safe. While other cities may offer warmth and familiarity, Makati offers professionalism. There are no beaches or mountain views, but in return, you get fast internet, on-time services, and a city that runs the way many foreigners are used to. Makati isn't for those wanting a full break from city life. But if you're in the retired but not tired groups, still driven by passion work, or a desire for a modern, energetic environment, this is a place worth investing in for the long haul. Number 1. Iloilo City. Most people guess the number 1 spot would go to Makati, Cebu, or Davao. But few mention Iloilo, a quiet city in Western Visayas with little tourism and no famous entertainment hubs. And that's exactly why it's often overlooked. But that's a mistake. Iloilo has been one of the most steadily developing cities in the Philippines over the past decade. Not noisy, but extremely well organized. Not heavily promoted, but everything here runs smoothly. Minimal traffic, clean streets, tree-lined boulevards, and well-preserved rivers rare for a modern city. Hans, a German entrepreneur who lived in Manila and Jakarta, chose Iloilo as his final settling down spot after 20 years working across Asia. I thought I needed a big city for long-term living. But in Iloilo, I found everything I needed without the pressure or rush of a large metropolis. He shared that his cost of living was half of what he paid in Makati. The weather was cooler, the locals were kind, and most surprisingly, no traffic jams. Iloilo also has complete amenities, hospitals, international schools, and airport malls. CAFS's sports centers is all new, clean, and well-run. The expat community here isn't large, but it's close-knit. People choose Iloilo not for its fame, but for its genuine quality of life. Rental costs range from 8,000 to 12,000 peso per month. With a budget of about 25,000 to 30,000 peso, you can live comfortably with all the essentials and none of the chaos. And most importantly, you feel like you're living in a city that's growing with civility, with sustainability. Iloilo isn't a city that wins your heart instantly, but it convinces you slowly day by day with a way of life that makes you never want to leave. And that's what makes a city truly most livable, not the most famous, but the one that makes you feel like you truly belong in the calmest and surest way. Everyone has a different definition of what makes a place livable. Some seek peace and quiet, others need modern comforts, and some just want to wake up each morning feeling safe and at ease. The top 10 cities in this video aren't a definitive list. But if you're thinking about starting over, whether it's retiring, leaving a big city, or simply choosing to live differently, then maybe, just maybe, one of these names could be the right fit for you. Which city impressed you the most? Or where are you currently living? And do you have a story to share? Leave a comment below, because who knows, your experience might help someone else find the place they truly belong. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe to Bizarre World Adventures, so we can keep exploring the world's most livable places together, not just through pictures, but through real stories and experiences. See you in the next video.